Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome to Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast, presented by DJ City. Big shout out to DJ City. I'm one of your hosts, DJ Crooked. We've got DJ Never here.
Yo, what up?
We got DJ D Miles here.
What's good? What's good?
We got Jamie the Great.
Yeah.
And you know, today we finally have some ladies on the show. We
Finally.
got some women DJs on the show. We got LA's finest, Bella Fiasco, Angie V, and Lady Shaw. Thank you guys for coming through. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
Thanks for coming on. Pause on the show.
There's gonna be a lot of pauses today.
No. I'm gonna control myself.
It's a respectful gesture.
No, he won't.
Yeah. I'm actually glad to have you guys on here. Lady Shaw, I've been wanting to get you on here. Angie V, I've heard a lot of great things about you. I think I heard you once in Vegas, and I've been following all your IG streams and all of that. And Bella, you've been on the show before. And we actually found some lost footage of you, which is good because we never aired your YouTube episode or whatever.
I was hoping they would stay lost.
Nah, it's good.
No,
They
it's
got
done.
discovered, yeah. But have you guys been kind of like passing the time during this quarantine? And I know Bella and Angie, you guys have been on IG lives. You've been streaming. Yeah. And you guys have been approaching it very differently, you know, like Angie V, you've been like focusing on like musical themes. You've had like these really great looking elaborate flyers.
No, yeah, I just got lucky. Honestly, like it was all kind of an accident. And then I had a really, friend of mine that was like, hey, I want to make flyers. Like I haven't done it in years and it'll be great practice for me. And so that's kind of how it goes. But yeah, all of it's kind of just been accidental luck. Dumb shit, you know.
Did you not know how you wanted to approach like IG Live? So you
not
were
at
like,
all.
so you just like, where did the themes come from? You're just like, I kind of want to just play this.
I think we all kind of have our groove and what we like, but it can get kind of similar to what it's like in the club. It gets repetitious, and I just didn't want it to be like that. And I committed to doing every day. And I know myself, I like so much different music that I thought if I'm going to get through every day streaming at noon, I have to have like different outlets and different areas to go. Otherwise I'm going to burn myself out. So that's it was really more of just me needing to like, hear that's just all the themes I play is a type of shit, like from classic rock, all over the place. So for me, it was just to stay sane, to be honest.
Yeah. Because you've had like, you did a 90s theme, you did a yacht rock theme, you did a freestyle, like kind of 80s theme. You did a death row theme. You actually did a bad boy theme, a best of bad boy, and Little C's joined in on your Instagram live, right?
Yeah, Little C's is like the new homie. He's such a nice guy. He's so cool, so supportive.
Did you just say Little C's is a nice guy? Yeah.
Yeah, he's so nice. I'm not even kidding you. He's like the nicest guy ever. He's always commenting like, love the girls, love girl DJs. And here's the other thing. I think I'm so beyond lucky because my roommate and I, who happens to be my best friend, is this beautiful, amazing girl who happens to be fucking hilarious. And we're idiots. And we didn't mean to approach our IG live as like half IG live, half comedy show. But that's just our personalities, and that's kind of what's come through. So I think that we're just dumb and love music. Yeah. And so that's what I think kind of helps.
It looks like you're having a good time.
No, he watches every fucking live. It's crazy.
You just did like a Crunk Dirty South theme today, and you had like Little John pop in, right? Did he pop in?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. That's good.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's not us. We have crazy people that watch. I think Eric Deluxe though pulled that plug. That was Deluxe. He hit up Little John.
I liked how you like kind of centralize on themes for your sets because when I was approaching this, and I don't know about any of you guys, and I know Lady Shaw. Actually, we got to give a congrats to Lady Shaw. You gave birth to a baby 9 weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. Congratulations, yo.
That's Lady Shaw.
Yeah.
Call him my quarantine baby.
Yeah, your quarantine baby. And what do you call it? And we actually spoke last year at our 100th episode, right? And then you were telling me that you were preggo.
Yep.
Yeah. And then you were actually, I want to go into that a little bit more because you were DJing while you were preggo. And I was like,
up to 9 months.
Yeah.
And Bella would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they would do the same thing.
No.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. If I could, for sure.
It's like not maternity leave and paternity leave is like not in our vocabulary as DJs, I don't think.
Yeah.
But this is kind of the perfect time to do a maternity leave, isn't it?
Maternity leave.
I'm so lucky it happened. Like I hate to say it, but this shelter in place has gifted me the maternity leave that I wasn't going to take.
Yeah.
I had gigs starting at, like, he was born February 11th, and I had gigs starting again in March.
Damn, girl.
Oh shit, he's an Aquarius baby. I love it.
Real MVP.
So like, we were speaking about it, but if this quarantine didn't happen, how would you have been able to juggle this? Like having a newborn like this, you would have to like hire a nanny and do all
As
this.
it is, it's like 2 people needed at all times. Like me and my husband are hands on at all times for one baby, and I've had my mom come over to help, but like not during quarantine, but before shelter in place happened, my mom was coming over every day that first month. I don't know. The thing is, paternity leave is not as crucial. Like, I know DJ Vice has had kids and just picked up and gone back to DJ gigs, but when you're a breastfeeding mom, you're like physically tied to that baby every 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
6 months at least. So that's the part that I was very curious how I was going to handle, but I haven't had to deal with it because all my gigs got canceled or postponed, and it just was like a gift from the heavens. Like, I had a DJ gig in Italy next month, and I was basically planning to take a breast pump with me on the plane to, like, you know, all right, this is not DJ.
It's fine.
Yeah.
If you want to be a breastfeeding mom, like, you're either you've got the baby on you or you're connected to a breast pump to get milk out. Like, so you're basically like, I'm like milking, you know, a cow. So like, you gotta some one way or another. And I would have had to do that on the airplane at DJ gigs, like before I go on and after I get off my DJ gig. Like, it was not going to be fun. It was going to be exhausting. Plus, like, physically having the baby, you want like 3 months of downtime. Mm-hmm. But I only planned to take like 4 weeks. And then, like, I had said yes to gigs starting 4 weeks after birth. And people were like, you're crazy, but okay. So the good thing is the DJ industry is pretty, like, whatever. They were like, if you want to work, you can. I mean, certain people, you'll find out, like, you find out real quick, like, how people feel about pregnancy. Like, certain people in clubs were uncomfortable with a pregnant DJ, and one way or another, they let me know, and I was like, okay. And then other clubs and, like, owners and promoters and bookers and, like, PR people and stuff like that were like, if you're comfortable DJing, we'll hire you. We'll hire you until you say you can't stand anymore. And so I did. I DJ'd all the way up to, like, halfway through January.
Damn.
And then, like, stopped like 2-3 weeks before I popped.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Pregnant, like, me and Bella DJ'd together. Like, you make it work.
Yeah.
So you've been in like full mother parent mode right now, right? You can't even fathom to even DJ an Instagram live or stream.
I have packed up my DJ equipment to create a nursery, and now I'm trying to figure out where to set up my DJ equipment now that there's a baby in the house. But yeah, like, I've just been like breastfeeding, logging on, like watching Bella's lives, Angie's lives, like all the homies. Just like, I've just been enjoying music. Like, I've become a true music fan during this quarantine because listening, and I'm like downloading songs like crazy. Like, I'm like screenshotting, I'm Shazamming. I'm just like, oh my God, I forgot about this song. And so, like, for me, I'm enjoying your lives, and I'm taking a maternity leave that I was never going to take, and like just enjoying the music, because the best part about the lives is all the DJs, club DJs, soul DJs, whatever, they're playing music that they don't have to play at the club. Like, they don't have to answer to anybody on IG Live. You guys are playing music you want to play, and then that's a true joy for everybody listening. That's why your lives are all popping off, because you're literally answering to nobody. No bottle service clients, no requests, no
100
what to play at what time for what bottle presentation. Like, it's amazing.
Are you getting the bug a little bit? Like, you want to kind of go out there, you want to go on Instagram Live, you want to
I mean, my FOMO would be huge if I was at home and like all the clubs and bars were open. I would be just like to get out.
Yeah.
Since everything's on lockdown, it's literally like you create the club in your living room any night you want with everybody's IG lives and like.
Now's actually the perfect time to have a kid, right? Like right about now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah. And I think this shit's gonna last for like, honestly think this is gonna last probably till next year to some extent. It's not gonna be as drastic as now where we're all in self-isolation, but I know.
I'm curious as to what you guys are gonna do for like what you guys think the new landscape is gonna look like for clubs and bars once we reopen or California reopens, or like, do you think that bars and clubs are going to be as packed, as insane, like shoulder to shoulder, packed like sardines, everybody smoking, sharing drinks, bottles? Like, is it going to look the same?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's going to be a level. It's going to be levels. Like, it's going to be the bars and the lounges. They'll probably see how that goes. I think the mega clubs will be the last to open.
Same.
And I think even when they do open, I think there'll be a good percentage of people that just want to forget about everything they went through and just wild out and get drunk. And then they're going to be the conservatives that are kind of like thinking like, I don't know if I want to be in this kind of a space. I don't want to be the first to be in that kind of a space. So I think it's going to be a little bit of both. I think people are going to like take it, especially in Vegas, you know, like the casinos will probably do everything they can to monitor and make sure people are safe, but there's still going to be that amount of people that want to just let loose. So I think the excesses in the marquees, it'll take time, but the smaller lounges, maybe like the OTRs, they'll be a little bit more busy.
I don't
take time.
Taking people's temperatures as they walk in the door. Like, there's just no way to control a crowd that big.
Yeah, and then the fact that a lot of people don't show symptoms is a little scary as well.
I think it's just going to be really up to the city and also the venues and how they're going to operate, to be honest. I think, you know, anything with large gathering, like a big mega club is not going to be open. And if they are going to be open, they're going to be, like 30% capacity? We kind of spoke about this with Joe Maz, but, you know, at that point, is it worth it to be at, you know, to open when you're at 30% capacity? Like, you know, exactly how much money you're going to be making. Our DJ rates aren't going to be 100% if there's 30% capacity. So it's like, you know, but I mean, I do want to talk about this. I want to talk about LA and just people going out. I know how you California motherfuckers are. You can't stay in at all. You know, you have to go out.
No.
We have good weather all year round.
Can't fucking do it, nice. Right? Oh, God forbid. No. Like, it's such a beautiful day. I have to go out and fucking do something active.
You see how New York weather makes you be all angry and shit?
Nah, I mean, I'm good. Like, I could stay inside, like, forever. I have no problem inside, man. Pull the fuck out. I could stay in here for fucking ever. But I do want to see, so do you have an IG Live that you're maybe, you know, you're gonna start planning it out? Because I wanted to actually know, because when I was approaching my IG Live and even Never, we, you know, all of you guys have such a wide musical catalog. And I was actually really shocked and impressed, and I loved it. Like Angie V, like, I was like, wow, she's playing some great shit, you know? Like, your freestyle set was amazing. There were like a bunch of songs I was like, damn, I haven't heard that shit in like 20 years.
Thank you.
But it was so necessary for me to see you in that environment. Because when I saw you in Vegas, when I saw you DJ in Vegas, I didn't see that. Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
So like when I heard you DJ, it was a great set, but it was so safe. It was such a safe Vegas set, and I think everyone gets pigeonholed. They're like, oh my God. I didn't think, you know, I thought Angie, and I was kind of like, oh, she's good, but you know, she's playing predictably for the room. You know, so when I see you on live, I'm like, holy shit, like Shorty's nasty. Like, she's got a deep fucking catalog. I was like, this is amazing, you know? And you see the depth in every DJ. It's like, it's so one dimensional. Like, you know, when we're in a Vegas nightclub where we're trying not to get fired. We're trying to make everyone happy. And we're like trying to keep the room. And you're like, you know, can I let myself go off on this shit? So I just wanted, and for me, it gets confusing when I'm like, yeah, you can play whatever you want. And I'm like, well, there's so much shit I want to play.
Yeah.
So for when you were like centralizing on themes, I was like, that makes the most sense, because that's kind of how I was approaching the few IG Live sets that I did. I was kind of centralizing on certain themes, kind of, but not really.
And
also, that's the cool part is that you don't like. There's Shaw killed it. There's no rules. Like and I will say 100%. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but I think, especially for us as women, like, we have to play the safe route sometimes, because we don't get that cool street cred when, like, with a crowd, if we play some shit that, like, we have to be on point and fucking banger, because our judgment level's a little higher than anybody else. Like, I get drunk one night and have a shitty ass set, which happens all the time because I can't handle my alcohol. And let's say you walk in at that point, you know what I mean? Like, so I think even for us, like Bella, I don't know and Shaw, if you feel this way, but I know I didn't even know this before. I had no idea that this was where I was at, but I was so not in love with music and just not in love with DJing and I didn't know that because I was still in like work mode and doing it every weekend, but I didn't realize how much I didn't really download music. I didn't really search and dig. I was playing whatever I needed to play to get my check and get the money that was coming in. But then in quarantine, I've downloaded so much music. I'm in love with music again in a way that I just hadn't been in a little while. Like I mean, a few years, everything. I'm so excited to download. I'm so excited to study and just like my whole life is involved with music. And I'm not lying. That has not been that way. So I'm trying to find like the positive in this quarantine. And for me, it's definitely been my reconnection with music.
And like you can listen to whatever. I'm listening to full albums start to finish. I'm like, like you're
B-sides that you forget.
Yeah, I'm just like downloading it, diving into it. Like you can do that right now in quarantine. Whereas I wouldn't say I was like over music as a DJ or as a club DJ, but I was like tired of the same night after night, just like the baby over again, like, but
it's like trained in your mind.
It's in between, like I'm between LA and Miami, and I'm just like hearing the same sets over and over again. Whether it's listening to myself play or listening to another DJ play, could be my computer. Like we could all be playing off the same laptop.
Hands down.
Bottle service clubs, and then like I really find joy in like corporate events and stuff like that, where they hire you for you, and then you're just like playing whatever you want, and like people are loving it. I think that like if I were to do a live, like I would go with like there's a party that I've DJ'd, Bella's been, it's called Sadiq. It's like early 2000s, late 90s R&B that like we grew up on, we were in high school for. Like it's music that you can only play at this party or on an IG live in quarantine. Like you wouldn't play this at a club because the promoters, owners, managers, whatever would be like, what are you doing? And I feel like guys get away with more risks.
Hands down.
And guys have way more, like, just like, they have a little bit more creative license than we do because the talent booker or whoever at the club, if a male DJ goes left, I'll be sitting next to a talent booker who will say, interesting. Well, let's see where he goes with this. But like, if I go left during a club set,
that motherfucker in the DJ booth telling you like, change it.
They're like, what are you doing? Change the song. Change the song. Change the song. Go back. Like, stop fearing. Go back to the course. Stay the course. They don't give us the same like 5-minute pause to see why we're playing this one song, to go to this one sample, to go to this banger. They don't give us that time, whereas they might give a male DJ that time and that grace to go to where they're going, and then they'll be like, oh, that was dope. But when a female's doing it, they're just like, why aren't you playing a banger? What is this? Go back to bangers.
Do you agree with that, male DJs here? Do you guys agree with that?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a little bit, it's relationships. Like I've dealt with it as well, but maybe not on the level that they're experiencing. Yeah. But I've dealt with, and then I've had more leeway with the GMs and the bookers that I have relationships with. They kind of like just like, well, I guess he's going to go somewhere with this, so let me just trust him. So, but I think they might deal with a level of scrutiny that we don't understand, and I respect the fact that Shaw just brought that to our attention. Yeah. Because I've never seen it that way until she just said it, and I'm like, damn, that's kind of true.
Yeah.
I do feel like in Neville we've experienced this, right? We've definitely experienced like partial racial discrimination, like
absolutely.
Like oh, he's the black DJ, he's just gonna play hip hop all night, you know what I mean? Or like this white DJ is just gonna play rock or house all night. So like, you know, Neva has to, you know, when Neva plays a rock song, they're like, holy shit, like it's a black guy playing white music or something, you know? So yeah, so it's kind of like that, or if like, you know, or I guess we've even dealt with some like women DJs where, like you said, they're just getting like they're getting observed and monitored way more than a regular like a male DJ would. So I totally get what you mean, where they're just expecting some miraculous ass shit to happen in 10 minutes, and like, I'm about to pull her, and we're like, yo, like, relax, like, she just got on, like.
Well, I remember when I first started DJing like a lot. It was at Lock and Key, and I was actually opening up for Lady Shaw for half of the time. And honestly, I was taking notes because she was rocking the fucking room better than half of those dudes that were on the bill. So it was different for me. Like, I never really was like, oh, she's fucking up, or be like, you know, I'll see anybody kind of pull that card on her because they actually trusted her to the point that she grew from Lock and Key to fucking like other cool venues around the city. So yeah, I see it differently.
Bella's one of those DJs that I've heard that I was like, you know, and I've seen you on live, and I've been really impressed with your musical catalog. I've also been really impressed at how carefree you are at approaching it. You've been kind of almost the opposite of Angie V. There hasn't been any themed, you know, like there hasn't been any themes. There hasn't been like any kind of like marketed flyers out there. You're just kind of like, you'll tweet out, I think I'm going to go live today. Or you've been kind of approaching it in a very carefree way. And then you did like a 9-hour set the other day.
I was there till 5 in the morning.
I got a great story. I fell asleep listening to your set like 12 o'clock, and I woke up like 4 in the morning.
Oh shit!
And I went on Instagram. I saw you still going. I'm like, oh,
yeah, it's nuts.
That was totally unplanned. I was like, I'm probably gonna play till 10 because I start at 7, but I just kept going. You know, when you start drinking and you get like that first wind, and then you like coming down because you're drunk, and then you're like coming up, and start drinking again. That's exactly what happened. So 9 hours happened. I don't know how, but it happened.
Oh my god!
I was on there like at 4 in the morning, and it was like still 70 of us in there, and she had to reset the damn thing, the IG it, because the hour mark was gonna come up, and she's like, all 67 of you better come back because I'm only gonna come back for y'all, and she got the 67 back in there.
Hilarious. If I would have kept playing, I probably would have said some bullshit because I was like, those were sad girl hours, dude. After 4 in the morning.
Yeah, you were playing some good R&B. But you know what I love? What I love about it is that I like that people get to see DJs' personalities through the music that they're playing.
Yes.
That necessarily is not just play banger, banger, banger like you girls were just speaking about. It's like, yo, no one's seen the funk sets or from Bella like that, or the freestyle music that Angie V knows. Like, it's different, and it's great because you can see the different personalities of every DJ, which is amazing.
I think that's my favorite part of it, is being able to showcase that, only because like with Angie and Lady Shaw, I'm pretty sure like people that see us play only know that we're club DJs and whatever. But like if people paid attention, like they would notice that like the mixes I put out, they're nothing like what I play in clubs.
Yeah.
So go on IG Live and literally just do my thing. And if I have the luxury of having viewers that enjoy it, that's great for me, because I would do it anyways. You know what I mean? Like just being able to play my kind of shit. It's therapy for me. And I'm sure it is for all of you guys that are going on live too. That's why I've been telling DJs, like, if you do go on live, play shit you want to hear. Like, even if you have like 2 fucking viewers, if you're playing shit you want to hear, it feels good.
Yeah.
Just showcasing and showing off your playlists or your catalog or whatever.
What
do you think it's going to translate after this is all done to the point where bookers will see how dope of sets you guys are putting out and trust you in these club settings a little bit more with your own like version of what you want to do?
I wouldn't know how.
I think so.
Only because it's not like we could take this in clubs. You know what I mean? This format. So I wouldn't know how exactly that would help, but
I think it is going to change the way clubs are, like, because it's not, I mean, obviously it's not just us. Like, you have D Nice, you have so many DJs, and I think that what's showing in this situation is that nostalgic music makes you feel something that like the music that, you know, current music is still great, but it hasn't reached a timeless point yet. So you're not connecting with it in a way that you connect with even like not songs from just a few years ago. It doesn't even have to be like hella throwback. I feel like this is going to bring back kind of the open format that we saw in like the early 2000s, like the AM, when AM was playing like AC/DC into, you know what I mean? Like a bigger open format. I don't think it's going to change it 100%, but I think it's going to give us a little bit more room for flexibility. I mean, I feel that way. I feel like it's going to open open up a little bit broader of what we can play.
I hope so.
It's interesting because like in New York, you know, New York's going through like a pretty rough time right now. But you know, everyone's in a financial crisis. So what's happening is that a lot of these cities are starting to change. You know, where the real estate is starting to go down, and it's actually becoming more inviting to creatives. Where before it was really pushing all the creatives out. So like a San Francisco or New York, they were kind of pushing all the creatives out. They were pushing the mom and pops out. And it was really becoming very corporate everywhere. There was a Jamba Juice everywhere, you know, Chipotle. It was like, you know, it was every city was starting to be looking like very similar to each other. And there was no identity. And so what's happening is they're starting to say in the next, you know, what we're going through right now with this pandemic, it's not just going to affect this year. It's going to affect, you know,
the future.
This is actually going to change the narrative for a lot of cities. And I feel like we're going to start seeing that probably a little more next year.
I don't think we're going to be, I think nothing is going to be what it was before. I think that's done. Like, we're never going to go back to the way things were. Even if it's a slight change, things are like, that's the past. We don't really know what the future is, but I don't see it being exactly the same as the past at all. Like, I just think this has just opened up it's a new world after this. People's behavior, people are at home realizing they don't have to spend all the money that they do so freely. Like, people are saving money, people are losing money, but perspective is just changing so much with this pandemic that I think it's almost impossible for people to think that life's just going to go back the way it was. I just don't see it.
Do you guys see yourselves continuing to do IG Live and live stream? Like when things start opening up, maybe end of this year or next year?
Yeah, like every now and then, maybe. Only because I've actually like developed a new following that's only able to see me on IG Live. So I'd probably do it every now and then just for that. I mean, I think that's the purpose. That's the purpose of like my mixes, anyways. People that can't see me or like go to my gigs and watch me play, I put out mixes. So it'd be the same thing as going on IG Live. It's just, you know, the visual version.
What have you learned about yourself as a DJ? I mean, to me, when you do a 9-hour set, you learn yourself. The longer you DJ, to me, if you do a 2-hour set, you know, you're touching on a certain amount of music. When you do a 4 or 5 hour set, you're going a little deeper into your musical catalog, into your history, your personal history. When you do a 9-hour set, I don't know how, like, you know, like I don't know how deep that goes and like exactly. What did you learn anything about you? Did you see something like, wow, like, you know what I mean? And after 9 hours of DJing?
And I think that for me was literally just like my emotional journey. I know I keep saying it, but it was like, I went from like energy to just like vibey shit to like, I was starting to feel shit to getting emotional to.
Wait, how are you getting emotional about what?
Because you drank and then your emotions start.
Yeah, I've cried on IG Live for sure.
What?
Which one did you cry on?
I've cried on like every Sunday. I probably cry every single Sunday.
Oh,
and
I'm
getting
wasted. Angie on her live every Sunday. Like Angie, guaranteed every Sunday I'm crying with you. Trust me.
So Sunday I have a party, and I started this party actually probably like 2 years ago. Because I was getting tired of playing the same shit at clubs, but we have a party in Pomona called You're Not Down, and it geared toward like oldies, funk, and freestyle, like very like Latino, Chicano lifestyle type stuff. Art Laboe shit meets like Power 106, like freestyle shit, like just anything you would hear in a lowrider or quinceañera, like that was the rules of the party. So, or backyard boogie. So on Sunday,
wait, what kind of music is that?
It's
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So Latinos ride really hard for free. Here's the thing about Latinos: we are the most loyal when it comes to music. We listen to the same songs every weekend from birth until generations. Like we listen to all the same songs together. So it's like oldies like Brenton Wood, Al Green, like Barbara Mason, Etta James, like oldies, deep oldies. But then it's like funk, Parliament, shit like Atomic Dog, Von Mason, into freestyle. Yeah, in freestyle. So it's like those categories kind of meshed in one. So on Sundays, we start like more funk, and then we go like probably our last hour we'll do like straight up oldie, like I'm talking like doo-wop, like oldies shit. So you know, we're drinking, and then by the end, like I personally cry all the time because I always dedicate it to my best friend who's passed from cancer. It'll be a year next month. So I'm always bawling by the end, like, all right, you guys, thank you. Like, because we're drinking and it's emotional and music makes you feel.
Yeah.
See, that's some shit that only like women DJs could get away with, though. Because y'all don't want to see no grown. Y'all don't want to see.
You see me cry.
Y'all don't want to see a grown ass man cry on an IG live playing some shit.
People would like to see a tear.
I don't want to see like Neva or Jamie or D Miles crying on some shit. I would call this motherfucker right now and be like, "Stop your live right now. Stop that shit."
We're the opposite. We're cheering each other on. Bella's over there fucking doing some crazy shit, and I'm in the chat like, Bella, keep going. One more shot, Bella. One more shot. Like,
Bella, you was crying on your live in your 9-hour set?
No, I was fine. I got emotional. It's the same thing as listening to certain songs in your room. Like it hits you, you know. Certain shit just hits you differently.
Wait, what was the song?
Alcohol.
What's the song? What's the songs that were hitting that would make you cry? What the fuck was? I want to know what was making y'all cry. Like,
playing.
What were y'all
at 4 in the morning? At 4 in the morning, she was playing like Mary J. Blige.
I'm going down.
Like some sad shit. And we was in there like cheering her on. I was like, yo, play Mary J. Blige, Be Without You. Like, I'm trying to get my feels with you.
I was playing like oldies, like Angie. I was playing Dee Dee Sharp, Billy Stewart, just like shit that like hits you differently, dude. Like, hearing that shit at 4 in the morning.
And we're all emotional right now, anyways, because our little hoe asses are stuck at home. We try to be out in the sun. Okay, I'm sad. You think I like being in this damn room all the time? No.
Our little hoe asses.
We want to be out hoeing.
Speaking on hoeing.
Speaking of hoeing.
Speaking on hoeing.
I can't wait to get back to my hoe self.
Right? Who is hoeing?
Bella knows. I'd be out there.
Oh, I love it.
I love it.
This is so good.
Wait.
Hosting is the best.
Till I die. Like,
out
there.
Can you define what this hoeing shit is? Because you married, right? You just had a kid.
You just had a kid.
What do you want to say?
Going out hoeing.
We go out hoeing. What is this LA hoeing shit y'all talking about? What is this like?
What is like?
It's the best life.
It's just
getting fresh, right? Getting dressed, going out, like
like you just going out hoeing with your friends. You're not really hoeing.
Okay,
but
I get it now.
You're like.
It's a lifestyle expression.
Oh, so you're not really hoeing. You're not really hoeing.
No. Straddling the line.
I was so confused, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. I get it.
Basically, you're going out with your girls. We gotta go hoeing.
Like, you're doing hood rat things with your hood rat friends.
Exactly.
You're like just enjoying yourself. But I'm a nerd at heart. Even when I'm hoeing out, I'm just being a music nerd in the DJ booth. I'm just out in the morning loving it, like living it up. Like, I'm probably sober half the time too, more than half the time, especially when I was pregnant. There was no drinking going on, but like it's just being out, that living off that energy.
Happiness over everything. Happiness over everything. Hoeing, that's what it is.
Nah, you go ahead with that shit, that acronym
it's
shit.
It's
Janae, man.
Right to try hoeing, it's the best.
That's what hoeing means for us.
I'm not gonna hit up Nev and be like, yo, let's go hoeing tonight.
I feel like
I can't wait to get out there and be
my
whole self.
Exactly.
That's not happening. We might have to edit this out, actually.
No, we gotta keep this. We gotta keep this. We gotta keep this.
The boys, they're hoeing on the low. We put it out there. We're just like, hey, I'm out for
we're just there for the music. So anyway, I want to move on.
Sure.
When you guys are drinking, do you guys drink every time you DJ on live? Because I don't know if I could DJ on live sober, to be honest with you.
I hadn't drank at all since quarantine started. I only started drinking on my first live, and I was just personally for me, I don't know if it's the same thing for you guys, but I can't drink on my own, like in my house. Like, I can't just drink by myself.
No.
I have to be in the right environment.
I'm the same way.
They have to be around.
Never. Why are you lying? You was drinking alone at your house like every time we recorded, yo.
Yeah, we recording that, but I mean, like, if not recording, I'm sitting at home chilling. I'm not gonna be drinking.
This motherfucker was lit.
Weird, but once you get into it, I mean, after you take those first couple shots,
you ready?
In the chat, just like involved and drinking with you, then you kind of get in the mood and. feels the same as drinking with your friends, except you don't actually have in front of you. So it's kind of weird when you think.
It's like once people get in the chat and they start like, it almost you feel like you guys are hanging out because you're interacting as if you would if they were in your face. So when they're like, "Oh, come on, let's all take a shot," you're like, "All right, cool, let's take a shot." And next thing you know, you're just man down. It's like Mayday.
DJs are the worst. You guys are like. As soon as you guys go into someone's live, another DJ's live, the first thing you guys do is peer pressure the DJ to drink.
Yep.
That's it.
I don't do that. Do you guys do that?
Bella does.
I always do the drink shots.
No.
Well, we do that to Neva when he hits 50 viewers, and we start adding shit to it.
See, Bella will come in every live and be like, "If you want the DJ to take a press 1," and then everybody in the live like all these ones.
Do you get a little nervous drinking on IG Live like that? You're gonna get to a certain level, yeah.
I've always been reluctant to like go live on anything. Like I don't have any DJ promos. I don't have anything on YouTube. I don't put anything out as far as videos go. Mm-hmm. Just because I'm like fear it. I'm like scared of it. But like the fact that it's in real time and live gives like just random people or haters like full access, like a full window to just say anything, harass you, or any on some haters.
Talk shit about you.
Always.
Yeah.
And I know that if I'm drinking, I might either do some stupid shit, say some stupid shit, or just not be able to control myself. Because, when we drink, we all know sometimes you just can't control yourself. So
you're too spicy.
Scary.
She gets spicy as fuck. This bitch was out calling out every DJ. They're like, fuck them, I'm better.
Is that what happened?
I mean, he was joking. He was completely joking, but it was gold.
Okay.
It's like if you're a DJ and your DJ name starts with an E, you ain't shit. But I was just joking. All my homies were in there.
Yeah,
okay.
It was.
Whoa, that's a hot take.
It was gold.
It was a joke. They were all in there.
People are at home. They're craving like human interaction, and I feel like they want to see you fuck up. Like they want to see you mess up, and not in a hater way. Like almost just in a real like. LOL, and if you would like, oh man, I fucked that up. Like they're laughing with you. They want to see like the human side of people. I think for a long time, Instagram, and all this other stuff has had like influencer people that have put out content that's not necessarily 100% real, and people are craving real, and so people want to see you get drunk, and people want to see you be stupid, and it's entertainment. It's live. It's visual. It's not.
I never looked at it that way, but that makes a lot of sense.
So you're gonna get drunk and act a fool now? Like you're gonna do some whole ass shit?
I'm not gonna do like you did the other day.
Oh, Cookie was on fire.
Fire, man.
I didn't do nothing. I didn't do shit. I just played a couple jams and I played a couple jams and house off.
Yeah, headband on.
I was like tuning into Crooked, but reading just reading Bella's comments, because you just go into people's lives to start shit, Bella.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah, it's the best.
It's my favorite thing to do, honestly.
Yeah,
she's one of the better talking this shit and this motherfuckers out there, right?
Oh my god, hands down.
DJs have like great sense of humor. You can't be a DJ and not have a sense of humor.
Not a lot of them, not all of them. Some of them.
Some are sensitive.
There's some sensitive ass motherfuckers out there.
There's some sensitive ass people.
Yeah,
that sucks. You can't be a DJ and not have a good sense of humor, because that would suck.
I know a lot of those motherfuckers.
It hurt rather fast.
I do think the IG lives are situational right now. Like it's circumstantial. I log on a Friday night and I have like 40 lives going on my Instagram.
Oh yeah,
like, that's everybody's going live right now. Even people who are not DJs, they're just chilling on.
Oh yeah.
But I think that like once California, the US reopens, IG lives will still be cool, like you said, like once a week or whatever. Mm-hmm. But if we go back to a landscape that's like parties like You're Not Down or Sadiq, or Bella does this party Good PM, like if we go to a landscape where the parties are these DJ curated parties and the attendees are 80% your homies and the homies that they told about the party, that's going to be so sick.
Yeah, that's going to be
100%.
That's the DJ landscape I would just enjoy to the max.
100%.
I think that's what would make these parties great, is if it's DJs curating them when we get out.
Yeah.
Well, I think you guys have been doing it. So you guys have been doing it. I think maybe one of the problems is that it was so it was just so like catered to industry people. And maybe there weren't like the regular people out there didn't know about it. They didn't know that there were clubs that played these this kind of music, you know?
Parties always start off as industry, but then people find out about it.
Right.
Like the first Sadiq looked a lot different than like the fifth Sadiq party that we did.
Yeah.
Like, fifth Sadiq party, there was a line down the elevator around the block of random people that heard about it trying to get in. Versus the first one was all industry people from like LA, Vegas, New York.
Studded though. Sadiq is always celebrity studded.
Like but then the more the people find out about it, and so then it spreads that way. If it's a dope party, people will find out about it.
But that Sadiq party was definitely blown up on Instagram stories, and it was like everyone was talking about that. Yeah, the last one.
Because it was all like girls at the parties singing live to all the songs. Like the stories were lit. Every time there was a Sadiq, the stories that night were lit of everybody.
We were speaking about it a little bit before, and I kind of want to go into a little bit more because I've been speaking to some of my homies and who are DJs and they're starting to look for alternative ways of making money. But I wanted to kind of know, like, Lady Shaw, you got a pretty ill-ass background. Like, you've got like a double major in Berkeley, right? You were studying anthropology and you were pre-med pretty much.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna like go to med school and like go that route now that this has happened. Like, I still plan to get back to DJing.
Yeah.
I mean, most of my DJ gigs have been like postponed, but I do think this is a time where all of us have been questioning ourselves, like, if DJing went away, if there were no venues to DJ at, if venues are closed for the next 2 years for some reason, like, you have to think about how else you're going to make money.
For sure. Yeah.
I haven't had a lot of time to give that a lot of thought because I've had a baby for the last 10 weeks. Like, I've been, thrown into a whole new world that I just like am figuring out. But I just assumed, like, before I gave birth, I just assumed that I'd give birth and I'd get right back to DJing. And I still love DJing and I still love parties and I miss nightlife and I want to go back to that. But if that doesn't exist in the same way, or if that's going to change, or the money for it is just going to take a big dive and you really have to just do that for the love, you need to figure out how to pay your rent and pay your bills. So
I applied for Amazon.
You said what?
Like, when this shit first happened and I lost all of my gigs, which I'm sure all of you guys did in 48 hours, I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, what am I, like, I've worked since I was 13. Like, I worked janitorial with my family company. I only know how to work. I'm lucky that I get to do what I love now, but a bitch is a worker. And I was like, fuck it. All my friends said I was joking, but I was like, okay, what's the first place I can go that's going to probably hire? Boom. I applied for Amazon. They hired me. This was, I think, on a Monday. I was like, I am not too good to work. Like, I need to fucking work. I'm going to make my money.
You check yourself and you do what you need
real quick. Yeah. I applied, I think, on a Monday, and then they hired me, and I was supposed to go on Friday to take my drug test and get my paperwork, which I'm not going to lie, probably wouldn't have passed the drug test, but but I was like, that was Monday. I streamed for the first time ever on Tuesday, which was St. Patrick's Day. And I think the first day we had like 80 people, and I didn't do it with a plan of doing it. And then the next day it was like 300. And then by Thursday it was like 700. And I was kind of like, okay, I feel like this is like, at this point, I don't know. Like, I just feel like I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be fine. Like, let's just ride this out. And I obviously didn't take the job, but was I scared as fuck and applied and was ready to take my ass back to a fucking factory and work in the ghetto with my dad? Real quick.
It's that Mexican in you. I did the same thing.
For real. Honestly, yeah. Like,
I did the same thing. I went back to plumbing with my dad. I was like, yo, fuck this.
I'll do what I gotta do until I figure out the next step. Yeah.
Then back to plumbing, you said?
Back to plumbing?
What do you call Bella? I saw you were like selling paintings and shit. What were you doing? You were like painting and shit? What?
I got back into painting. Painting, by the way, is like my first found talent, like way before I even discovered music. I haven't painted in more than a decade. I've just always had like artist block. But like after maybe the first week into quarantine, I picked a paintbrush back up and I was like, I'm going to start painting. And it just happened. I wasn't planning on selling any paintings. It's just that whenever I would post myself painting or like I would post the process, I'd get a lot of DMs asking if I was selling any, or when I posted the finished product, someone asked if they could buy it like then and there. I didn't ask me what the rate was, what the pricing was. They were just like, can I purchase this? Name your price or whatever. And I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to sell any paintings, but I feel like, I mean, if there's someone willing to buy, why not? And I feel like it's an earnest and honest way to earn money. I'm painting, I'm putting hours in it. So if someone wants to put it up in their home and pay for it, then cool. So as far as that goes, I'm like, I don't know if I just got lucky, but I'm like, people want to buy paintings from me. So I'm rolling with that. Like it's honest and it's earnest, and I'm, you know,
and you love what you're doing and you're happy doing it.
I love doing it. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm just happy that I even got back into painting. I've been trying to get back into painting for like the last decade, and I can't get back in it. So now that I'm back in it, I'm just like, music and art, if I can make money off of doing that, or even just with music, like I've had people like asking if they could like pay me to do mixes for their like private shit. And I'm like, these are all honest ways to earn a living right now. So why not, you know?
Yeah.
People are paying like money for hour sets for birthdays. Like there's a way to make money in this. I think we just have to allow ourselves to see what those options could be, and not be too proud to explore those options, and not feel that we're above taking those types of things or doing those things. I gotta pay my fucking bills, and I'm sure I'll play your grandma's 50th birthday party on IG Live for an hour if you're gonna pay me for it. Yup, no problem.
So Angie, I have a question for you. Like when you said that you didn't take the job at Amazon because your IG Live started picking up steam, is your IG Live generating you income, or is it?
Yeah, it actually is generating income. So like people, I never posted like tips or anything like that, but people would like tip her and Venmo. So I was getting tips, which was the first week was like really great. It was awesome. But then shockingly, I don't freaking know how, but our numbers just started getting crazy. And so now I have brands that like pay me to either stream on their live, or are going to pay me to like drink or eat their products. I try, like because basically we even started with just our friends. Like I had friends that had companies. So we would be like, hey, come and give us shit. So like, and we'll plug your shit while we're on. Like, you don't have to pay us, of course, never. But brands that I don't know, like if Corona wants to fucking pay me for Cinco de Mayo, like, yeah, I'm going to take that check for sure. Heck yeah. So it started generating income. We did merch, like basic merch. Like I was like, okay. Cause people were asking for merch, and I made money on merch. Like it's crazy, but these are all things that I would have never thought of, you know, like I don't want to put my face on a shirt. Like what the fuck, who am I? Like, I don't feel comfortable doing that, but I'm so lucky that I have friends that had a printing company, and they were like, hey, you're not going to do it. This will help our business and this will help you. Are you down? And I was like, yeah. Sure.
That's dope.
That was interesting.
Yeah, e-commerce sales have been up. So a lot of my friends and a lot of people I know, they've been pushing a lot of merch.
And it's funny. I think a lot of us think that the whole world is dying and struggling, but they're not. There's still a great large amount of people that have to go to work. They're still making money. They're saving money because they're not out shopping, eating out every single night. So what are they doing? They're online shopping. So merch is I encourage any of you guys. Merch is a game changer.
Yeah.
Yes, we talked about
my merch paid my rent last month. So
nice.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Good stuff. How many viewers have you been averaging right now?
It's hard. I mean, our a slow day is like 1,200 for us, and then like a peak is like 2,800.
You hit 3K a few days ago, Ange.
Did I?
I think so. Because we were like, shots at 3K. I think you did a few days.
You know, I really like try hard not to pay attention to the numbers because it stresses me out and like it's overwhelming. So I don't. But
that's how I remember that you hit 3K, because you were like telling Josh, don't worry about the numbers.
I know. I got it. I felt bad. I didn't mean to pop off, but it was like, yo, your numbers are going. I'm like, okay, cool. And then again, like, yo, if you put this on, your numbers are gonna be higher. I'm like, I don't fucking care about the numbers. Stop talking about the numbers. Like, it's anxiety. It's a lot. It's a lot of pressure.
Angie, you on 7 days a week?
7 days a week. I've been on every day since St. Patrick's Day. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But in May, I'm gonna move to every other day. Just it's a lot. And there's things that I want to get done that I can't do. Because it takes a lot. It's a lot of work. We switch backgrounds. We change our backgrounds. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It is work. Don't get it twisted. A bitch is out here working. Fucking dance, monkey dance. We doing it.
Whoa.
Sha, with you on maternity leave, and what is your plan? What's your outlook right now?
Like, my plan has not changed. My plan has always been to get better at Ableton, remix stuff that I want to remix, produce. I play guitar and piano. Like, my ultimate plan was always to go back to music and creation.
Right.
So if coronavirus forces me to change my DJ route and go back to music and composition and songwriting sooner, so be it. That was always my ultimate plan, to get back to creating music. Once when I was a teenager, like in my 20s, my dad was like, let me get this straight. You play music that you didn't make for other people who are drunk. And I was like, yes. But because he knew, like, I've been playing piano and guitar since I was young. So he knew that, like, I was all about making music. And then I went to college, learned how to DJ. That translated into immediate income, and I became a full-time DJ. And then from there, I was like traveling and doing clubs and special events, and like DJing took off, and I rode that wave. If that wave is changing direction and changing course, it's time for me to put my ass back in the production seat, and creating like creation mode. Like Bella, like art was her first love, so she's back painting, and like Angie's expressing herself in a whole new platform. So it's like, if it changes the course of my career, so be it. I'm writing it right now. Like when I'm like, being a mom, and that opens up mental space for me to think about what else I want to do. And what I've always wanted to do is get back into music production and creation.
I remember, Sha, we were talking at our 100th anniversary or 100th episode. We were talking, and you were saying how even when you were like, pregnant and DJing at the time, there were like health issues of being in nightclubs with like smoke and all of this shit like around, it wasn't.
I don't think any of us really think about it that much until you have a situation you have to worry about. Like when I was pregnant, I started thinking twice about all the clubs that I DJ at where people smoke cigarettes and weed and hookah just like freely. Like it's illegal, but LA and Miami do not stop people from smoking in bottle service clubs or like special events and stuff. People have free reign with that stuff. And when it's such an enclosed space, you're basically in a hot box of smoke.
Yeah.
And I basically set the rule for myself. If I'm like coughing, if I can visibly see a cloud of smoke, then I'm going to cut that club out while I'm pregnant. But we shouldn't be in those environments anyways, pregnant or not. That's the crazy part. Like, we shouldn't be breathing in all this secondhand smoke for 4 hours at a club, but we do, because we love so many things that trump that we go and put ourselves in those environments. I don't want to like call out clubs, but when I would get to a club, I would tell like the lighting guy and the security guards around the DJ booth that I'm pregnant. You know how they sell a lot? Well, in LA, they sell tables, like bottle service tables inside the DJ booth. So like the Bootsy Bellows, Poppy.
Yeah.
Your DJ booth is never an enclosed DJ booth. They're literally selling tables like all behind you, around you, to the side.
Yeah.
So all I could really control was the people around me. Like if any of them were lighting up, the security guard or lighting guy would just tell them, hey, put that out. But you can't control the entire club.
Especially like Bootsy Bellows, like that's a small ass place.
Yes.
So like you walk into the door, you're already at the booth.
So I stopped doing Poppy because Poppy really had like no ventilation system. Like that place felt like we were being hotboxed instantly. So like I stopped doing Poppy but continued doing Bootsy Bellows all the way till I was like 8 or 9 months pregnant. And then every club has a smoking section, and sometimes that smoking section is like 3 feet from where everyone else is. So like my baby came out fine, thank God.
Thank God.
We were doing research on all three of you, you know, girls. I was just very curious because I guess in the beginning there weren't that many women DJs to look up to, you know? So like I was kind of curious to see, who did you guys look up to in DJing when you guys were coming up?
For me, it was, I think we talked about this, it was my uncle, but it was also like my neighbor across the street. It was my uncles who always hung out with DJs. I'm Filipino, so someone's a DJ in someone's group or someone's family member is a DJ.
Yeah, they cannot all be dancers.
Yeah.
Somebody got to play the music.
I mean, like, we didn't really have a ton of female DJs to look up, but Spinderella, DJ Irene in the Latin culture was like huge. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously AM is like the GOAT for me personally. I loved watching. I got to open for him like once, like very right around the time he passed. And I probably learned more in just watching him in that, 2 hours than I had learned in a few years of learning how to DJ. So for me, it's like AM, Spin, Irene.
DJ AM was huge for me. Like when I started DJing when I was at UC Berkeley in the Bay Area, and there were some female DJs killing it in the Bay Area, like OGs like DJ Netta, Pam the Funkstress.
Oh yeah, Pam.
And DeAndroid. So there were already very powerful female DJ role models for me in the Bay Area. So I wasn't questioning like whether I can do it or not because I already saw them doing it in the Bay. Graduated and I moved home to LA, which is where I was raised. Came home to LA, and that's when I just started religiously going to Banana Split Sundays with DJ AM, and he just broke the mold for anything I thought a party had to be or a DJ set had to be, because we would be in the middle of it like EDM set and he'd drop, whatever, like Wallflowers and Nirvana and Oasis. Like he would just go left and right, and like I'm sure everybody's sick of already hearing about how open format AM was, because now we're all open format. But at the time, like I thought Banana Split was going to be just an electronic party with a little bit of like Be More, because of the other DJs involved in Banana Split, like Aoki. But AM would always get on and he would always throw something on that the whole crowd would just be like, whoa. And so he was huge for me. And then when I moved to LA, I found all these other female DJs that were in the industry working, making money, like Michelle Page, Daisy Odell. She gave me one of my first jobs DJing at the lobby of the Standard Hotel on Sunset Boulevard. Like, so I reached out to a lot of the female DJs right when I moved down. Belita, Rashida, there's just so many
that's right.
already doing it in LA. And so I don't know. There was always a feeling of like, this is something you can do because of them.
What's the feedback that you guys get from like maybe like up and coming other women DJs? Or
it's like multiplied by 100, maybe more, since I started DJing. Like in 2000, when I started DJing, it was like I could count the number of female DJs I knew.
Yeah, it was a really small amount.
Now it's like tons and tons and tons, and then you have like IG models who are DJing, actresses and models who are like, okay, I'm going to DJ now. Just like celebrities, like touching base with DJing. Like it's expanded and just like multiplied beyond control. But what me and other female DJs always discuss, and guy DJs too, the people that will persevere and the people that will stand out are the people that aren't just DJing for like a season or like it's just a quick stint for them. Like the DJs on this call right now, we're in it for the long run. We've been doing it for decades. We're going to keep doing it for decades.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that will kind of rise, like the cream of the crop always rises to the top.
I feel like quarantine too is kind of weeding out the people that first, like we were, Shaw, I think you were in there with you and me and Daisy, and Daisy was talking about you have to be obsessed with music. Like if someone wants to be a DJ, if you're not obsessed with music, it's going to be a phase and it's going to ride out. And I think going into quarantine, people are kind of maybe seeing where their mind is going and what they're choosing to kind of. I just think it's weeding out people that.
It's like letting the true music nerds shine.
Kind of, yeah.
It's like letting all of us,
and not specifically IG Live. There's so many outlets. It's not just on IG Live, but just in general, whether it's people putting mixes out, Spotify playlists. Like, I don't know. I think we're thinning the herd a little bit.
Mm-hmm. No, Sha, I think you're absolutely right, because I feel like if you look at D-Nice, people don't realize that dude's been around for at least 30 years, and half the people, this generation, they don't even realize he's a rapper.
Yeah.
He started out as a rapper, so they see him now, and they're like, well, where did this dude come from? Like, not knowing the work he put in, and that he genuinely loves it, and the fact that he's getting shine, it's earned.
Yeah,
he's not someone that just came up out of nowhere. Like, he's put in the work, and he's been doing events and all these things for years, so... I think that what you said is really important. It's going to weed out people that were maybe doing it as a hobby or as a fad or a quick buck. And the people that really love it are going to stick around.
And even D-Nice too, like that's such an inspirational thing, I think, for all of us as DJs, because I think at some point we all think like, what the fuck are we doing? Is this what we're supposed to be doing? And D-Nice is having the most epic part of his DJ career at the time that he's having it. I'm sure D-Nice has had moments of like what am I doing, or just didn't feel like he was on top of the game as a DJ, and he's literally America's DJ right now. So I love that D-Nice kind of has that, he's just a great story, I think, for all of us as inspiration of don't quit. If you love it, it's what's for you is always going to be for you. Just stay with it.
Yeah.
I think what's great about D-Nice is that he's like 52, right? He's in his early 50s.
49.
49? Okay, there you go. Well, he's 49. He's like almost 50. But to me, it's representing a generation of DJs that we thought there couldn't be a generation of. Like, we all thought it was like kind of a young person's game. Mm-hmm. And then it's one of those things where he's probably at the pinnacle of his career, right now, of his lifetime. And it just kind of breeds some inspiration to people that's like, this is not, you can just DJ for 5 years and then find something else. This is like a lifetime career that you can put into and like develop and progress. He's doing MTV, BET. He's on CNN. He's on the Today Show.
The Bachelor, that shit.
I was even talking to my boys. I'm like, yo, this dude almost is like basically the black version of DJ AM, where he's like the number one DJ in the country.
He's America's DJ.
America's number one. Yeah, America's DJ. And he's America's celebrity DJ. And
just playing music.
Right.
He's just playing music. This, like, D-Nice is literally demonstrating how far taste in music and adequate DJ skill.
Can you say that again?
D-Nice is literally demonstrating how far good music taste and adequate DJ skill can take you. Because that's all he's doing.
Yeah.
And he's like not doing insane turntablism.
No
turntablism.
Playing D-Nice produced edits or originals. He's literally playing 70s soul, and 100,000 people, including Michelle Obama, want to hear it.
Yeah.
He mixes from one song to the next seamlessly.
Right.
I can just hear Rocktagon's voice coming in right now and saying D-Nice is not a representation of the working DJ because he's D-Nice. Like, he is a celebrity in his own right with connections from being a celebrity and being in the world that he's been in, DJing for like the Obamas. Mm-hmm. So he's on another level of celebrity, but he is showing that he's doing a good job on his IG Lives.
Right.
It's a pleasure to listen to him. And it's a pleasure to tune into all of your IG Lives because you've got the good taste in music and you can mix.
I think social media was ran by kids too for a hot minute. Like kids had the time to be on their phone. The younger generation was living on their phone. And I think now that people are in quarantine, more older people are having time to be on their phone to engage on what social media has to offer. So I think that's also a big reason why a lot of this type of like feel good vibes are working, because people are at home. and now can sit on their phone and watch IG Live in a way that they couldn't.
I think Crooked and Neva and Jamie, we were talking about this at the 100th episode, but like, this is what's in the front and center of my mind right now, but I know there's a lot of male club DJs with kids. I don't know a lot of female club DJs with kids. I don't know any.
Yeah.
So, like, I can't even say I don't know a lot. I don't know any. I know, like, when I got pregnant, I kind of, like, was looking on Instagram to see what other female DJs have kids. If they have them, they're hiding them. There's literally, I don't see any. There's one in the EDM world, Juicy M. I know she has 2 kids.
And she's
traveling the world on the EDM festival circuit. But to me, that indicates that she's got a good home situation. Like, she's got her husband and maybe a mom and a nanny taking care of the kids. She can live that EDM festival circuit life. But in terms of, like, clubs, open format clubs, I don't know of any female DJs with kids. And so
Daisy Odell has kids.
Yeah, Daisy, though, is special events. And
yeah, that's true. That's true. You're right.
And so I'm trying to think of, like, in our club world, because Daisy is one of my mentors. Like, she was like, it's going to be hard as hell, but you can do this. So she's the only female DJ with kids that I really, like, spoke to. And she was like, it's going to be hard as hell.
What is the most difficult part? Is it trying to keep the same routine for the child to follow, like the morning, the breakfasts?
Newborns have no routine.
Right.
There's no schedule.
Newborns are like all over the place, morning till night, night till morning. Like, I haven't slept more than 2 hours in a row since February. But I'm more interested in, like, the first year, if you're breastfeeding, you're physically attached to the baby.
Right.
After that, you need to have a good home situation where the baby is taken, or the child is taken care of, and taken to school and taken to activities and all that. Whereas before a child and before coronavirus and quarantine, like, my life was fly to Miami or DJ in LA on a Friday night at 2 a.m. Catch the 7 a.m. flight to Miami. But I always see so many DJs on that flight. So I know I'm not the only one living that life. Like, there's all the West Coast DJs. We're catching, like, the 7 a.m., 9 a.m. flight to East Coast, either New York or Miami. You DJ in Miami or New York that night till 5 in the morning. And sometimes you stay in Miami or New York for the day, or you catch the 7 a.m. flight home and you're back in your own living room by 10 a.m. So I don't know what that looks like for a mom. When I would come home, like, I was doing Miami twice a month, and then I would come home and sleep all day Sunday through Monday. You can't do that as a parent.
I know a lot of the
women.
Have kids? No, I don't have any kids. But I know a lot of the women DJs I have talked to in the past, I'll ask them, like, hey, do you have aspirations of being married and having kids or starting a family? And a general answer I'll get is they feel like within those 9 months, it'll slow them down. And then once they have the kid, they feel like almost they'll become irrelevant and fall off. So there's like a level of fear in having a child. Yeah. So
which is why I DJ'd all the way up till 9 months.
Yeah.
Is that a fear that you had? Like, you had that anxiety that, you're going to have this, you're going to have your kid and you're going to come back to nothing. No one's going to want you back.
Well, my focus was, like, if I can physically do it, why not? The kid's not here yet, so why not work while I can? Secondly, there is no paid maternity leave for a female DJ or male DJ. You're taking it, because we have no employer, you're taking an unpaid maternity or paternity leave. So I wanted to work all the way up to the last minute to stack my dough, to fund my own maternity leave. And then lastly, I wanted to make sure that people saw my face all the way up till when I gave birth. And then, like, I would take a few weeks downtime and be right back on the scene. So it just so happened that I took a few weeks downtime and then quarantine began. So I was like, oh, sweet.
10 years ago, I ruptured my Achilles. Playing ball, and I couldn't DJ for 3 months.
Damn.
And I had the worst anxiety from sitting in the house for 3 months that you could ever imagine. Like, 1, I couldn't walk, so physically I was just incapable. And 2, I felt like I was just out of the loop. Even downloading music and doing the things I could do, it didn't matter. Getting back in that environment was tough for me. You know, I was coming back DJing on crutches. So that was an adjustment. So I think that maybe nothing close to giving birth, but that might be something similar to what it might feel like.
I heard it's the same thing. I think it's pretty similar. I heard
it's pretty close, right?
Early on, I tore my ACL, but I went back to DJ gigs on crutches.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that.
Damn, she just shit on your whole experience, D.
Know, right?
So that, she tore her ACL and she was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? She did it all at the same time.
Right after. You took 3 months off?
No, D Miles is right. It's like an injury. We're our job is so physically dependent that you can't, like, if you're physically unable to be at a DJ gig, then you're out of the picture until you can come back. Yeah. Luckily, IG Live is how people can physically be present as DJs right now. But no, we'll see. Because I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up whole life. I don't want to give up.
Nice.
Like Daisy said, your DJ career will change after kids. The events that you choose to do will be different because you might want to be home by 10 p.m. But she doesn't know.
That's just terrifying. You're just terrifying me right now.
I'm club rat at home. So we'll see.
I'm literally terrifying the shit out of me right now. My vagina is literally going inside, up, far away. Like, and I don't even have to worry about having kids, but nonetheless, terrifying me.
We used to have this talk. I was telling her how, like, I wanted to have kids soon, but I was like, I don't know. It's like the scariest thing right now. And
it's so hard.
I feel like I haven't like reached my peak. Like, if I have kids right now, like, where do I go? What happens? You know, like.
Is it hard to find? I know it's obviously hard to raise a kid with a partner. Is it hard to have a relationship with a partner? You know, from your perspectives, and then to think about marriage and all of this, and you know, and kids even to get to that.
I think you have to date someone creatively in the same space as you. Like Shaw, you found a creative. Like I could never date a school teacher, or like. Our lives are just so insanely different, and understanding nightlife. I think it's possible. Yeah, you 100% can, but I think you have to be somewhat like-minded in understanding that type of schedule. Like if I dated a 9 to 5-er ish, when you're coming home, you're tired. Like I'm just warming up my night at 6 o'clock, and I just think if you find people that are more like-minded, I don't think it's not that hard. I mean, it's hard to find. I think good people in general, but as far as specifically, like I think it's out there.
So you had more difficulty working with like a civilian, like a regular person, like a 9 to 5
hands
person.
Down. My most successful relationship has been with another DJ, hands down.
See, I would think that would be the more normal relationship, to be with the civilian.
Yeah,
so normal.
Well, you would like to. I feel like ideally, I used to think that it would be easier to be in a relationship with someone who's not in the circuit at all. Not in the industry at all, but like my past relationships with men who were not in the circuit have all been failures.
Okay, but see, well, you and I are kind of on a different page because mine's been with a woman. So that's different. You know what I mean?
How is it different? What's the difference?
Women and men are just completely different.
Like, are they?
Oh my God. They're all hoes, but like there's just different.
Whoa.
I just think it's different. I think women and men are just, I don't know, like a guy, like a lot of the girl DJs that I know, not all of them, but for the most part, like we all joke we're hoeing, but they're really not hoeing. Like we're not out at the club and Bella's like, yo, I'm gonna go home with this dude. Like that's never happened to me with any other hanging out with girl DJs. Now let me hang out with my dude DJ friends. And I mean, like I'm playing connect the dots and they're going home. So women are just a little different.
I feel attacked.
I'm sorry.
So you're saying that even though girls say we hoeing tonight, y'all not really hoeing. Where the guys don't even say hoeing, but they hoeing. Is that what you're saying?
For sure. Yes. I can say I'm hoeing because I'm really not a hoe.
I do feel a little attacked. Yeah.
Really.
It's okay. Hey, I don't judge. Like I'm with it. I'm down. But I'm just saying in regards to what Bella was saying, like it's been harder for her. She was in a relationship with a man DJ. I was in a relationship with a girl DJ. So it's like men and women are just a little different. For me, that it was ideal and schedule, and it worked out.
So it's
but
better.
Y'all male DJs are hoes. Let's just keep it real.
So wait. So you're saying it, but Bella, you're saying that it was easier to be with someone, to date another DJ or another creative than it is to date a civilian, like a 9-to-5 person.
Yeah.
I don't get that. Is it jealousy?
Oh, for like a regular guy, I think it just everything took a toll on them. You know, I think it all comes down to when you date an insecure guy who doesn't or won't admit that he's insecure about, you know, the kind of lifestyle that you're exposed to. Mm-hmm. It just, everything takes a toll and everything turns into an argument from like who you go to your gigs with, who shows up at your gigs, what time you get home, who you're talking to, or even just like networking and socializing. Like all of that is not common language with a regular guy. Like these are all things that only
a human being
another
thing.
guy
that's a regular human being
understand, thing. You know? So
I would advise I would advise to not date other DJs because that's a combo.
No, it doesn't work.
It's like too crazy of a combo because you're in the same space.
Yeah.
I even though my husband is a creative, he's an introverted homebody writer. No interest in ever being at the clubs or being out at my DJ gigs or keeping an eye on me. Fully trusts me. And then I can be out there living my best life. And it's fine. Like, even if you were to date a civilian or another creative, it's simply that they have to get what you do, whether you are pregnant or you become their wife or whatever. They should just get it.
That's a secure. It's just dating a secure person, no matter what it is probably the most important thing for any DJ, male, female. Like, they have to be secure. That's like the number one rule. That's it. Yeah. That's the number one. Women, females, males. If they're not secure, this shit will not work at all.
If you have a 9-to-5er who's like, I'm going to bed at 10 p.m. and they're like, have a good night out. See you in the morning. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. And I don't think it's bad dating 9-to-5ers. It just is more accommodating schedule-wise dating someone. Yeah. It's not so much like, I care that they're 9-to-5. I'm just thinking schedule. It sucks sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't want to stereotype too. I mean, there's guys in the industry that aren't like, I think the way we stereotype dating DJs is they're all hoes, right? We just mentioned that.
They're not all hoes, but no, they're not. They're not all hoes.
I know guy DJs who don't drink at all, who are home after their gigs. They don't even like being in the club. They don't do drugs. They don't nothing. They're like straight edge men. I know
all the guys right here, right now, for sure.
Like these guys.
Yeah, these guys right here.
That's right.
All the same.
I only cheat on my diet. That's all I do.
Yeah, but no stereotyping because
it's definitely not stereotyping, but you know.
I'm just shocked that you guys were so open to dating another DJ. I would think that would be like the worst thing you could do is date another DJ.
It really was.
Because you're going to be in the same circles. You're going to like see them, right?
It is a little bit of, because it's not a ton. It just depends on who you date. But yes, are there times where maybe shit's not popping off for you, but it is for your significant other, and you're just like, fuck, and it makes you feel some type of way about yourself, or sometimes shit's popping off for you, and it's not for your significant other, and you don't want to be overly, so there are 100% difficulties to it, yes, especially when you break up a lot of times. It's hard, but I would be lying if I didn't say it was the easiest, I guess, successful relationship that I had. Yeah, it just worked in a weird way. It just worked.
Crooked, it's the ease of dating other DJs because they're right there in your schedule.
Mm-hmm. No, I would think that's terrible to date another DJ.
Yeah, but like, so when it happens, grind and going out every night, and you're around nothing but DJs. That's your dating pool right there. It's that, and that's how I figured out. So. That's not. It's
right.
Well, I kind of agree. I feel like we're all products of our environment, and so it's no secret why athletes date celebrities date athletes. Movie stars date other movie stars because you're just in that world and you understand the grind and you understand what it is to be in that world versus a civilian would have no clue and you have to constantly justifying why you're doing certain things.
It's all fun and games until you and 2 of your DJ exes and 2 of your bottle service ex girls are all in one place. Let me tell you.
Damn, Angie V.
Like I've dated confident women, but being around that kind of a circle can break you down really fast, no matter how confident you are. If you're not in that world, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So for you, men or women, the most confident man or the most confident woman can be broken down really fast when they get in the DJ booth with an Angie V or a Lady Shaw or a Bella, and they see the attention and they see the love and they see the people that just genuinely want to be around you. They start having questions.
And it's not even so much like that. Warranted. It's just them. I think it's a lot of us doubting themselves maybe. And their confidence level, sometimes it's really not even about you. It's more of their representation of themselves or how they feel about themselves. It's hard. It's not easy, but it's imagine someone that doesn't get any shine and has no idea what any of that feels like. And then they have to watch you get that. At least if you date a DJ, they kind of understand a little more. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's really weird. It's weird. It's like we can break down all this shit, but at the end of the day, if you work with whoever in the hell you work with,
exactly,
make it,
You just have to make sure your partner wants you to get that shine and loves that shine, and your shine makes them happy. Like it all comes down to them being secure and cool with what you do and excited about what you do and not questioning it. And not trying to change you after a certain number of years.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's very interesting. Like, you've been in this industry a long time. You've never dated a DJ, right?
No. Is that good?
There's not a lot of female DJs.
Especially when I was coming up.
All male DJs.
When
you hang out with, well, not really, but you know what I mean.
It's funny, when y'all was talking about the DJs that like inspired y'all when y'all started. I was thinking about when I started DJing, there was like not that many female DJs at all. There was like maybe 1 or 2.
I started DJing when being a female DJ was still like, oh shit, she's a female DJ, but now not really.
It was like the only female DJs I knew was Samantha Ronson, Spinderella, and
Jazzy Joyce.
Jazzy Joyce, and that's it. Yeah, that's sweet.
Yes. Sky Neller.
Sky Neller. Yeah.
She just started DJing later, but right now it's like a lot of female DJs. A lot more.
Lady Tribe. Who remembers Lady Tribe?
Oh, I remember Lady Tribe.
I remember her.
I forgot about her.
Right? She was like back in the day.
With you girls being in like we were talking about, with you girls being just surrounded by so many male DJs, and I mean, are they all hitting on you pretty much?
Not all of them.
Not all of them? You don't know they're hitting on you, but they are kind of, right?
They're scheming.
They're
plotting on the low. They're plotting on the low.
They're planting seeds,
No, I always talk about this. I think it just depends on like your tone with your male DJ peers. Like if like I'm homies with every male DJ I know, whether they've tried to hit on me or not. If I do try and switch the tone up, they become homies. It just depends on how you approach guys. Like,
Go ahead, keep going, Bella. Keep going.
Tell us more. What?
Go off,
Bella. Keep going.
Okay. Here's the thing. It's so easy. I don't even want to use the term friend zone, but it's so easy to turn a guy that's hitting on you into a homie and make it completely like cool and not like, oh, she's stuck up, she's a bitch, whatever. It's so easy to do that. Like for me, it is just because I know how to switch the tone up, and like you would know if I'm flirting with you. You would know if I just want you to be a homie. I'm like completely transparent about shit. If I like,
how do you flirt? Let me see.
If not,
Exhibit A.
Yeah, let me see how you would flirt with them. Come on, tell me, show me.
No!
You gotta ruin her game.
I put DJ Crazy Eyes on.
I can't get the flash drive in my jeans. Can you get the flash drive in my jeans?
It's down here. Down here.
Don't even think I know how to flirt. Like I'm just if no, how do you?
I don't know how. Yeah, I can't picture, but I can't picture Bella flirting with another
No, I don't
DJ.
think I know how to flirt.
It's like system error. Like she don't know how to like function.
See, I would think guys would. I would think it would be uncomfortable. I started thinking for a while that every woman DJ would tell everybody that they're lesbian, just because it would just immediately stop all guys from hitting on them.
Dude, it don't work. They think
I don't know about all
I'm
guys.
lying all the time.
People still think I'm a lesbian. There's still DJs that think I'm a lesbian just because I tried to tell them, no, I don't really go for that.
When I was telling people I was pregnant, because I like as I was like showing, I would tell people, hey, I'm pregnant, and so many other DJs said, I thought you were a lesbian.
Whoa! That's wild.
Bella, I thought it was just me. Angie, I don't know if I gave off that vibe. I
didn't think that. No.
Years and years, but so many male DJs, not female DJs, but male DJs were like, "You're married?"
Yeah, you kept it low though. You kept it really low.
Yeah. The marrying part was like, I was like, "Whoa, you're married?"
Yeah.
But it was not on the
like. Oh no, male DJs told me to my face this whole pregnancy. Male DJs told me to my face, "You're married to a man? You're pregnant?"
Wow. That's wild.
You're married to a man. You're married. I don't think it's I can handle when the guy DJs because I don't think it's so much because like the guys are cool. They all know. Everyone knows my background. I think it's the more uncomfortable when it's promoters that are trying to hustle because that's the money now that's getting involved, and that's like the fucking worst. So I think for us dealing with like guy DJs, flirting, cool, great, but it's when promoters start kind of trying to get in on that there's nothing worse than that.
I get goosebumps when I think about that. Like that, it really. Some promoters are gross. Like promoters,
yeah, and it's like, yo, that's my fucking money. So like, how do I react? Like, fuck, you know, it just puts you in a really shitty place.
Jamie, y'all never dated like another DJ?
No.
I can't not date, but I was talking to one for like a month and a half.
What do you mean? Like she said hi to you or some shit?
Yeah, she said hi and bye.
I had lunch.
I had lunch.
Besides for no parts.
Yeah, no. We just talked for a bit, but it wasn't nothing major like that.
The DJ that I did date, I think like he was insecure more ways than one, where he tried to block me from opportunities and like he didn't like when I was shining a little more than he was, or you know, like there was definitely like an unspoken like competition between us, and I hated it because it's like we should both be in our separate lanes. So the fact that this is like affecting how we treat each other is not going to work out because you know, like
But then do you feel like when you like kind of verbally explain like we should be in our separate lanes, then it makes like, well, why? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, well, what do you mean? So it's a fine line. Like that is a fine line when you do date a DJ.
Yeah. That's why I always say I never want to date DJs, but I can't help it. Like if that literally all I do is DJ, if I'm not DJing, I don't go out. I don't do anything.
You see, yeah, it's hard.
Not on any dating apps or nothing. So like if that's all I meet, then that's all I get. Like, you know what I mean?
That's not a good enough explanation, though. That's not a good enough explanation because you could be dating a lot of security dudes or like bartenders or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Or barbacks. Like I keep dating barbacks and all of this shit. Like there's got to be something a little bit more of why you're gravitating to DJs a little bit more.
I think connecting through music is so like amazing. I think and hot, and I'm sure that's probably the number one pull. Like when you can connect with someone on a musical level, it's like
different,
mind blowing. So another DJ, oh my god, of course, you know, it's like you're teaching me shit, I'm teaching you songs, and we're just putting each other on game. It's easy to get caught up like in that sense. I feel like.
What do you call it? I think we're gonna wrap it up, but I really appreciate you guys coming on the show and talking with us, and hopefully, you know, I'll see you guys in person in the near future. But until then, I'm looking forward to Lady Shaw. I'm looking forward to an IG live. You know, while you're breastfeeding, maybe breastfeed IG lives or some shit.
Whoa! This is not that type of party.
Entertainment right there.
Tour. It'll be the comeback tour. I'll just have like a baby and like.
I would like to see that. I want to see the whole juggling of everything. But yeah, Bella, Angie, keep killing it.
Thank you.
Some of the best music I've heard in a long time. So kudos to you guys. It's really
Thanks,
great.
Man. Appreciate that. That means a lot.
Yeah. And then thanks, Jamie. You wanna wrap it?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
If you want to watch this video alongside all our brand new videos on Friday, go to youtube.com/R.O.A.D podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be the first to get the video.
And then, thank you guys so much again for being on the R.O.A.D podcast, and big shout out to DJ City. Thanks, guys.
Hey,
Peace.
thank you, guys.
Peace.